Hello. Hello, hello. Hey, Camilla. How's it going? Can you hear me fine? Is the sound good? So yeah, today I'm just gonna continue this dude. I started on the streams a while back. I continue it a little bit, the concept. So yeah, I'm just gonna push it further. I wanted to work on the other robot, but I forgot my files. Thanks everyone. So how you guys are going? Well, let's start. So there's a IMM here, which you have the IMM primitive and IMM primitive H, which one has some holes or different topology. So this one is good. So I can just insert a key cube. The key cube basically just has this topology like this, which is clean. Now I'm gonna convert it as Dynamesh. You can split it by unmask point, which I should just add it in my UI here. I have split it in, so I could. I'm gonna just do this for a second because I use this pretty often. Um, I heard, I heard this shit. Good. How's it going, man? So split mask point, unmask point. Just gonna check the difference. Split unmask point. For me, I want the split mask point, so I keep what is unmasked. Gonna bring here, Control Alt, click mask point. And now I can just store my config. Now let's say I mask one side, split mask. Yeah, that's perfect. How did I make this UI here? You can create an additional menu if you go in Preference. Custom UI, you have create new menu. You have to go into Config here first, enable Customize. Then you can create a new menu. It's gonna pop up for a name, and the name you're gonna put, it's gonna be here. And then when you have enable Customize, you can by Control Alt click, you can drag any up. You can drag. Let's say I drag it here. If I Control Alt click any space in ZBrush, if you control, you can just bring it here. Control Alt click. So I put all my option. If you want some sub panels here like this, you can go in Preference here in Custom UI. You have it here, so you can just drag it. Say here, and you have a new custom sub palette. If you Control Alt click on it. When it's not empty. When it's empty, it doesn't work. But when the subpalette is not empty, Control Alt click, you can rename it. So let's say I just put anything here onto my copy. Say duplicate. I need to. Okay, so now I have duplicate inside. So if I Control Alt click, I can. And if you want to remove it, and then you have things inside, you have to remove everything inside before. So just drag it onto the UI like this. But you have to remove everything inside the sub palette before. So takes note. And then when your menu is done and you put everything you like in it, you can just Control Alt click on it when you're. If you remove Enable Customize, when you Control Alt click now, it's adding a shortcut to anything. Let's say I Control Alt click to this one. It's saying here assign a shortcut. Anyone. I could press any key on my keyboard and it's gonna assign a shortcut to this button. So if you Control Alt click your menu here, you can assign a shortcut to your menu. So that's what I did. So if I press 1, my menu pop here. If I press 2, my menu pop here. So yeah, that's basically it. It's pretty simple. Hey Thomas, how's it going? Comment ça va? How did your ZBrush, was it ZBrush cocktail or how did it go? Okay, so now I'm just gonna convert this as Dynamesh. The decent amount of polygon. This is a bit too low. There's a plugin you can download which I never used. Is the Dynamesh master or Dynamesh something, which you can. It's easier to set your resolution. I think it's by polygon instead of by density. Anyway, once I find a sweet spot, I always use it. So that's gonna be fine. If you alt-click with the gizmo, it sets the pivot point to the normal of where you alt-clicked. Okay. I'm just drawing some basic contour here. I'm gonna clip things afterward. It's important when you want to do something like this that don't work in perspective. Graphic, so it keeps things clean. I'm just gonna remove the symmetry. So I can clip without altering the other side. Ideally, it's better to draw this like at the center of the world, at the origin of the world more. Of your symmetry. However, since I'm just concepting. Also, it's very good. I really like that also for. Holes. It and close holes. My shit better. Could delete everything. Hey, Eduard. What when is the best time to stop working in Dynamesh and start Subdivide? Yeah, you can totally go all the way on Dynamesh without subdividing. Me, I like it depends, but it's if you want to start adding detail, want to start to sculpt on your mesh, you might have a lack of resolution here. So you see you're at only 200. So sometimes what I could do is just subdivide my Dynamesh. But the thing is that the lowest resolution here is very dense. So if you have like this amount of density all over your mesh, it's gonna start to be heavy inside ZBrush when you turn around. ZBrush can handle a lot of polygon, but if you have like a super low resolution for the first subdivision level, when you turn around, you're gonna see that it kind of optimize how it's working. So it's gonna be a bit lighter to work with. I could give you an example, a quick example here. If I take a very light cube here, let's say I subdivide it a couple of times and then I move it the areas. You see when you turn around how you see a lower resolution here just by turning around, so it kind of optimizes it. So it's not that heavy to work with. But let's say if you go to the highest subdivision and you delete the lower resolution, then you turn around, you see it keeps all this density while turning around your model. So it can get pretty heavy if you have Dynamesh all over your model. That's one thing to keep in mind. It's if you have some subdivisions level here with lower resolution, the model is going to be way more lighter. So yeah, I just keep on Dynameshing, and then if I need more resolution, I can subdivide or just use the ZBrush to have a cleaner. But for this guy, I can keep Dynamesh. I don't need to recouple everything. It depends on the viewing distance of our model, right? If you zoom in like this, then you might want more resolution. But if you look at your model at this size, it's kind of a fine resolution. I'm just sketching ideas. I don't really know where I'm going now. Also, there's this AQ curve here, which is found under brushes. It's help for mechanical things like this. Kind of move things more precisely, like points. So you can just go here and do sharp corners like this, so it's pretty neat. For this thing, I think I'm gonna use a mix of organic and sci-fi. Maybe like I'm gonna start sci-fi and be more organic at the end. For the H polish, I just turned on the back face masking here. What it does is that it doesn't affect the back face, the other side of the surface. Because sometimes if you have a very strong clay, for example, and I turn it off when it's very thin, Here, you can see it's sculpted on the other side. I'm gonna remove my. I turn backface masking as long it never affect the other side of the surface. So you can do this with the H polish too. Let's say you have like a bending, like I had here on the inside. Oops. You can just alt-click it to push the surface towards you without affecting any of the back sides. It's just that when you have it on for like a sharp corner here, might not taking every of clay, so turn it off. It's more cleaner. More clean. Like this here. That's a perfect example. Like the surface is pushed in, so if I want just to push it out, but in a clean way, I can just turn in backface mask. Push it out a little bit like this. It's kind of clean. I just want to round the surface a little bit. So I start with the trim dynamic, then H polish. H polish tends to equalize the surface a bit better. You can always use the move with the AQ curve. Sharp corners. Hey, Murder Craner, how's it going, man? No red wax, no. You want me to use a red wax? I don't know if I can handle this. Nope. Sorry. I'm just sketching out my ideas. Might clean it a bit after. Mouse. Now use the shift key. Just release the shift key afterward. My friend clipping brush here. So I might just symmetrize it, resymmetrize it after. I'm gonna bring it to the center of the world and symmetry in the depth axis, like this did. Yeah, it's early for me too. It's like 11 for Sunday. Today I invited some people here, so drink some wine. I'm pretty sleepy too, so it's fine. Just gonna do this very casual Sunday sculpting. Perfect. How are you doing, Mordecai? Use a bit more resolution for this. Oops. A little clay polish. Yeah, did you like it, The Punisher? I heard it's good. I heard the first episode is good. I want to watch it. I probably watch it too. Hey, Rob. RB Axter 12? Probably just iPoly. Oh. Okay, for the Punisher, yeah. I guess I'll see too. Is it related to any other like Netflix story? Like or like Netflix characters. Yeah, I liked Jessica Jones. I think it was very good. I never watched yet the what's his name? The dude. Too much point. I'm gonna use the Boolean system here. I'm 64 gig of RAM, I think. It said this. I don't know, it's say 50. Maybe there's or 60. Yeah, 60. No, around 64. But honestly, ZBrush doesn't need 64 gig of RAM. It's more for other software, like Maya or like rendering, especially. RAM is important. It won't have a lot of displacements and textures, or a lot of program running at the same times too. Photoshop, very RAM angry. But ZBrush, as you can see, is only using 2 gig of RAM right now. And even if it takes all the RAMs, with 16 it's way enough, I think. It runs super well on like 4 gig of RAM computer. It's the way it's handling the topology and stuff. Very optimized. But if you have 16, it's way enough. Here. How will I optimize this model? I won't. It's probably gonna be for 3D printing, so I might Dynamesh the whole thing at the end. So here, I'm gonna duplicate this guy, this thing. Close, delete it, close all. Maybe give it, make it a little bit, and start to clip stuff around. Otherwise, if you want to do a game model, you just have to retopple it, topple everything, then use a software like Xnormal to project both mesh onto the other piece by piece, or you can just explode your model, then bake everything at once, except for the ambient occlusion. I'm from Canada, Montreal. You can't understand me? Is it because my mic is not close enough, or it's because of my accent? Yeah, sorry about this if you didn't understand. I know this mic has to be very close. So yeah. Hi Yaman. Yeah, my name is Pierre-Olivier. I'm French. I'm from Canada, working in the video game industry at the EA Motive right now. I've more than I've like 9 years of experience in video games, in the industry in general. So here, the lazy radius is gonna affect when you shift click. It's affecting where the stroke is ending. So the smaller the lazy radius is, the closer the snaps will end where you end it. Like, just gonna give you an example here. If I put my lazy radius at 74, and I just start, then release it about here, you see it didn't went to the whole curve. But if I remove my lazy radius here to 1 and shift click release it, it goes up to the end. So is she from Canada too? I thought she was from England. I'm not sure. Yeah, Paul is Canadian too. I discovered this at the summit this year. I didn't know. He lived in Toronto for a while. Just trying to make this as clean as possible. Sorry. No, this is for fun, man. I'm just doodling on Sunday. Some random stuff, so just having fun. It's fun to sculpt, right? It's I wanted to do like a sci-fi creature for a while, so kind of sci-fi alien, not a creature really, but just gonna grab some alpha here. GRO. Just to make this thing a little bit more intricate. It's a bit intense here. If I have any tip to keep polygon lower, yeah, ZBrush is good. I can show you a little process here in a minute. I use. Just basically just using the ZBrush and then reproject your surface into your new surface. Check this. Let's say I want to make this thing a little bit lower. I can clone it. Sorry, my mic's in the way. I can clone it here in a new subtool, duplicate it, then go into my ZBrush here. Very quick and efficient workflow. I'm on Strand Doom. Good morning, man. Yeah, those alphas are from Jeremy. I don't remember. I think it's Jeremy's name. They're on they are on Gumroad. Just gonna check quickly. This guy here. This guy here. I think so. It's a Jonas. Like here you have some alphas. That's the one I'm using, I think. Jonas Run Guard. So you can check his its art station here, and then there are some links to his Gumroad and all of his alpha. It's pretty neat, very useful. It's very long to do all those alpha like this, so it's very nice that he did put all of this together. So yeah, I'm terrible. Sorry about this. Yeah, thanks for the link, man. Oh yeah, now I have a very low res piece here. Looks like there's missing some polygon there, so I'm just gonna go remake it, maybe a little bit more. I'm just gonna run Dynamesh before running it, so it cleans everything. I'm gonna go to maybe 1, so I have a little bit more denser mesh. Okay, so that looks better. It's very low res. So I can just go ahead and I still have my older one here. Whoop, close that. Sorry about that. No, just my friend is poking me. So yeah, I have a second mesh here, first mesh here. I can just subdivide it a couple of times, but before subdividing, I can just go in project all, and then just subdivide it once, project all, twice, project all, project all. And that's about right. So now I have a lower mesh with all my resolution, and I can just hide this one and bring it back into my tool here. Now when I turn around, it's a bit optimized. So yeah, here I'm just gonna continue breaking down the silhouette so I have more intricate shapes. I didn't check the back. Okay, so now this piece, I might want to transform this thing into Dynamesh, because right now it's a live preview. I'm just gonna clone it here, bring this guy here too, just to be sure I'm affecting on those two pieces. Removing Dynamesh. I can subtract here and then just make my Boolean mesh here. Now I have it as a big Dynamesh. I can bring it bring it back here. So yeah, now I can smooth this. Gonna re-dynamesh this. So yeah, here I'm just gonna duplicate these shapes because I want this panel line to be a bit more cleaner. So I'm gonna duplicate the whole shape here, and then I can just start to use the slice curve here. This and start to slice my mesh like this. So I have this piece now. This here. Oops. I don't know if this is gonna work, but it should be not so bad. So I can go and delete hidden. Those holes. And just stick it out a little bit. And always try to inflate it a little bit. And maybe clay polish it. Sometimes some trial and error, of course. It looks a bit more clean. With my IQ curve here. Make a nice corner. Where I can just push in stuff here. We have something a little bit more clean. If you take the transpose line, you draw it, you control click on the white dot here, you can align it like this. I can just go all the way around and then make it clean. Nice clean and mask. Oops. I'm just gonna try something here quick. Polish by feature. Yeah, that's good. So I'm just extracting it by pressing Ctrl on my transpose line. No, it's not perfect, but yeah, screw this. I could just retuple something here, or yeah, what I can do is duplicate it, then delete hidden, just H polish here, this whole thing, and go do it as a remesher. Very low density. Couple of time like this. Increase by polygroup. So yeah, something a bit more clean here. Save water, drinks file. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's actually a very good idea. Can I have a little more explanation about the alignment with transpose line? Yeah, of course, man. If you draw the transpose line here, you can see that there's a line in between. You can use this as an aligner, kind of. So let's say I want to. You can align your transpose line. Let's say you want to here follow this line here. Then you control click on the white dot. So it's gonna align the canvas perfectly onto that transpose line here. So it's gonna be perfectly parallel if you draw a mask. So that's very handy if you want to do straight lines. I'm just gonna subdivide a couple of times. Oops, that's not my clip curve. Sorry, just trace a line with transpose and control click. Yep. Just breaking the silhouette a little bit here. Maybe make a clean line here. delete the higher, divide it. Here the result. That kind of thing can be resolved by dynameshing. Resolution. Anyway, pretty fine. Awesome. So that is starting to get cleaner. You can always do a quick panel here. Say I duplicate it. I can use the trim brush, trim curve here. So it cut it and then close the holes. Very quickly like this. So I just made the panel very quickly. I can just go in and use my clip curve. Clean it. Dividing. Just by sharpening and smoothing the mask inverted and create something a little bit more clean. Oops. Why are you looking down? You have a synthetic? Because I'm looking at my phone. And what is the shortcut to duplicate diamond? Control Shift D. To duplicate the subtool, it's Control Shift D. Now I'm just gonna start to put some alphas on this big thing here. Maybe subdivide it a couple of times. No problem, man. Standard. And then just start to put some interesting. Oh. Yeah, it just save. But usually when it crashes, it saves. So Hey, I'm back. What is this fear up your model? Sorry for my English. Yeah, ben, je parle français aussi. Ça, c'est juste pour... ça fait deux choses. Premièrement, je le mets en haut. Quand tu saves ton tool, ça prend le nom du save file here. Fait que si j'appelle, je sais pas, créature 25, ben ça va être créature 25 le nom du tool ici. Fait que je mets comme dummy en fait. Deuxième raison, c'est que quand tu sélectionnes un subtool comme ça, il est comme highlighté. Mais si je pèse ici, ça met tout sur la même couleur. Puis ça permet de rotater aussi. C'est comme un dummy. Okay, so I'm gonna start and finish my... Weeby? WB? I don't know what that means. But I wanna... Yeah. I wanna duplicate... I wanna mirror this over. So... the thing is, I have some subdivision level here, so if I try to mirror it, it doesn't work. First thing I do, I prefer you have a Z plugin here, you can mirror stuff with multiple subdivision levels. But the thing is that it doesn't retain the polygroups on one side. But with these techniques, if you go in the lower, mirror one side, mirror and weld, because it only mirror and weld on one side. Then you reconstruct the subdiv here. That's retaining the polygroups on both sides, so that's the technique I prefer. Here I have some polygroups here, so I'm gonna do exactly the same. They're lower, mirror, mirror and weld, reconstruct subdiv 2 times. And for this one. Here. Older brother. Thanks, man. Some good coffee. I'm good for another hour, I think. If I start at 11, 12, 1 or 2. I'm just gonna check when Thomas is starting. Thomas is right after me. Oh, he's starting like at 3 o'clock. So, anyway. So another thing I would like to do is to merge everything together here. So it's easier to move around and stuff. I'm just gonna clone this. Open it, this one here. Open one here. Open this one here. Sits in all Dynamesh. I'm just gonna merge it super high density, I don't care. Lazy. Merge visible. Like it's 1.8 million polygons, so that's okay. I just lose all my my subdivision levels, but Is this Blender? No, it's a ZBrush. It's a sculpting software, basically. But you can do all crazy dynamic stuff in there. And maybe a third one, rule of 3. Just be careful so it doesn't interfere too much with the head, so he can turn his head without spiking. No, maybe the third one. I'm not a fan of the third one. That's a fun thing about concepting in 3D. You can just try stuff very easily. What you like, move things around. Checking in under viewing angle. I should have eventually I'm gonna fix the back. Attach it to somehow here. Oops. I'm gonna auto group. So it groups everything by topology continuity. What? LMP, yep. It's kind of a concept art. It's a concept sculpt, kind of. Just doodling some stuff in ZBrush, basically. I'm just gonna try to concept here from Dynamesh. Reload the resolution. I think I'm finishing at 2 o'clock. Like in an hour, basically. I might finish earlier today because I'm a bit tired. What time are you starting? Yeah, I'm saying 2 o'clock, but it's Montreal time, Eastern time, not California time. Thanks, man. Thanks, Thomas. Merci beaucoup. Just still very rough. Mhm. Four stream each day. That's a lot of content. But there's getting a lot of streams, and there's some new streamers. I've lost the tracks of everyone because there's a new streamer every month. And on the last month, I kind of took a break a little bit, playing some video games. We just released Star Wars Battlefront. Did you guys play it yet? With the loot boxes? Which Reddit thing? Well, they make the record of Reddit in all time with negative votes. It. I think it's a. Yeah, it's because of those loot box, but they kind of disabled it. So you need to play the game. I think the goal there was not necessarily making money, but more like, but of course, but it's more like they want to for players to play like longer. Like they want them to stay in the game. That's why they did those progression things. Of course, it's money at the end of the day. Oops, it's crashing. But it's not the only game who use like this kind of process. Just gonna merge those two polygroups together. And polygroups here. So I just have one, not two. Oops. And it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't like pay to win too. Like when people just pay and are better, but at least it's not only pay to win. Like you can unlock it with progression. But yeah, I get what people are saying. Aeronaut. Yeah, man, Pixelagic have a nice channel. There's like maybe 20 streamer here all week long. Over here, I'm just gonna merge everything together as a low resolution. Merge visible here, so I can smooth this. So that works. Bring it back here. Hide those guys. And reappend it. The merge one. Now I can just go in and mirror and weld the whole thing. And if I want, I can subdivide it and add some detail on it. There's always a Mordecai for asking red wax. clean cut like this. I can do another one. And this one here, you can just mask the part you want to extract. Here, Control Shift D to duplicate the subtool here. And if I hit Control W, it's gonna make a polygroup out of the mask I just drew. Now I can go and delete the rest. I can use my slicing curve. Slice curve here. And then just start to slice this. So it makes nice clean cuts. I can invert the selection and then delete it, and then I can use after my clip curve to flatten it. Yes. I can always use my slicing curve another time here. Deleted. Then I could use the ZBrush. Make it clean. Yeah, I can just use the Z modder to extract all polygon. If I press extrude all polygon, I can crease by polygroup, so I have a crease here. Diminish the creasing level to 2. So when I smooth it's a bit rounder and nice and clean. I can just push it out here. Move it around. I can inflate it if needed. And I can just push that surface inside. I can mirror and weld. So yeah, that's basically the tricks, and then after I subdivide it, add some alpha, or you can, with the polygroups, you can add a tube here. Yeah, I think that would be a great idea, huh? But does it do that? And I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a good idea. How do I bridge to all I punch out with one? I can use the bridge brush. You could always do also a little macro that just do mirror, mirror, and weld. So and then put it on a shortcut. There's always a couple of different ways to do the same thing in ZBrush. Non, je vais pas le skinner, je vais juste je vais juste le poser with T-Pose Master probablement, puis le 3D printer. That's my goal. It's 9-inch nails. Mm-mm. I'm just, I'm getting tired a little bit. Oh, maybe I could do this piece here. And just for this one, I'm gonna use the topology brush. Something like this. Topology brush is awesome. Very nice to make quick, clean topology. Split it in here. Just gonna subdivide it once. Over here. And then here with the Z model, I'm gonna do a loop. So I could always here crease. Non, Casio Mirror. Pour un projet perso. Yep, c'est un projet perso. Just having fun in ZBrush, basically. Hey, Robin Tench. Robin Tench. How's it going, man? Like, I can show you, there's someone who asked how to bridge a hole. If you use the Z modeler, it's kind of nice. And split the vertex like this, and if you split on the other side, and use the Q mesh one, it's gonna automatically it's gonna polygroup border here. It's gonna automatically bridge here. Pretty neat. I can just go and subdivide it a couple of times. Take my flat brush, stretch my, like if it was fabric here. Also those two topology pinch. Because I was creasing, I can just trim dynamic it. Blue screen of the dead, the force is weak. I miss it. Alright, could you tell me when you use ZBrush in my... I always use ZBrush. I can use Maya or Max when I do the low-res topology for in-game. I use Topogun too. But for creating or modeling, I'm 100% in ZBrush. Or sometimes I do retopos and pieces. It all depends. Yeah, exactly. When you get used to ZBrush, it's so much easier. There's some stuff that takes more time than you would takes in Maya, but there's so much stuff that is faster in ZBrush than in another 3D software packages that it's worth just not going to Maya for one piece. Just do like a slower piece. But then all the other pieces that are faster kind of saves. Blue screen, sorry for that blue screen. Oh, it's Thomas, huh? Hope you won't have one in your stream. Hello, ZBrush. For our single object character model. Police could fix it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I use Max when the model is done, or Maya. Bring everything, maybe use displacement, and then render it with Arnold or something like this. If you want to rig it to animate it, you're gonna need those software. What is that cool brush I wanted? Which one? The fold? The one that to create the folds here? It's a brush, it's very easy to do. It's the pen shadow here. Just take the texture off. And I think alpha is this one. And then you have to remove the RGBs, the add. That's it. And then just with some lazy mouse here. Yeah, you see. And then I just saved it as a fold brush. So you can see it's the same. Thanks, Axel, man. Yeah, I use Painter for texturing or Mary. I will use like for like say the armor and stuff. I'm gonna use Painter, but if it's a creature, I'm gonna use Mary because of the layers, and I think the tools to paint in Mary are a bit stronger than Painter, but Painter is way stronger to create easy material and looks very nice, and PBR that's very fast. So I would say a bit of like both Mary and Painter. For the girl I'm doing, I use Mary only because I have lots of UDIMs and it's rendered in Arnold. So what brush do you make to make art bodies? H polish, trim dynamic, move tool a lot, clip brush, clip curve. Someone asked me, sorry, yeah, it's a concept I did. I did add some reference. If you check the first stream I did with this guy, I went through digging some reference and starting, but the base concept looks a lot like the reference I was using, but now I'm just going freestyle, and yeah, it's like concepting at the same time than sculpting. Hey, Mortiz, how it's going, man? So yeah, so as you can see, the torso now looks a bit like simple, but when I'm gonna start to add alphas and break those silhouettes, like especially the borders here, it's gonna start to look way more intricate. I just want to do the base shape before. Like this one's gonna be easy here. Duplicate first, Control W, and delete in slice curve. I'm gonna do one side and mirror in well after. Yeah. Fill it in. Edge polish here. Another quick edge polish. Gonna do a quick zero measure now. Zero measure. There you go. It's clean enough. Just do another group. Sometimes zero measure makes some floating polygon around, so if I do another group, I can be sure that's only this piece. Oh, Now the border, polygroup inner, or polygroup all, whatever. Then I'm just gonna mirror and weld. Oh, there's a funky polygon here. But then I can fix it very easy with the stitching ZModeler. Just click on the first and second vertex and just gonna weld them together. Mirror and weld, so there we go. Also, I'm gonna put a polygroup on the polyloop here. Same here. And what I want to do here, I just want to straighten this line. I'm gonna use the clip curve. This. I'm gonna smooth it a little bit. Insert here, and then just extrude the poly loop. And increase by polygroup. I should make some macros. I have a lot of repetitive tasks. And then I'm just gonna delete. I think. I can try to straighten the lasso. I can select poly loops like this. I can just straighten this here. Oops. Curve. Okay. I need to mask one side. If I use the clip curve, invert it, I can straighten this here. I can use my extrude here poly loop, but if I click shift, it's kind of inflating this part. Play this. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for the link. Yeah, but I'm getting used to the hard surface thing. I'm doing this since a while now. Where I can just do a group here. Yeah, I wanted. So with the transpose, you can click on one vertices and then snap it, and it's gonna automatically snap to vertices. So now I can move it along this edge axis. Oops. And unhide everything, so I can keep it. Mirror and weld, because I didn't add symmetry. That's basically the shape I wanted. Another thing I can do here, I'm just gonna remove that edge now. Just want to stretch this a little bit so it makes like a tapered shape. Don't care about the other side, I'm gonna mirror and weld after. Gonna scale it a little bit. Oh, I'm just gonna save it quickly. Okay, those spikes are bugging me. Because it's an important part of the silhouette, and it's very rough. So it's kind of gonna improve the model a lot when I'm gonna do this correctly. So what I could do for this, I think I'm just gonna make one tiered piece and duplicate it across like 1 or 2 versions. Now that I saved, I can just go ahead and then append a plane here. Plane. Can delete this one. And then just subdivide it a couple of times. A little lower. So I have some nice topology. The lasso here. Okay, and then I can just polish it, I think. Yeah. Bend it. Just make the transpose line a bit bigger. And with the Alt key on the middle of the transpose line, you can bend your surface. Oops. Here's my cloud brush here. I'm not sure I'm gonna like this when trying something here. Go ZBrush. Oops. I need to delete even before. So I can just try this, but I'm not sure I'm gonna like this. I'm pretty sure I won't. Let's try it. Or maybe I could just do it temporary. Gonna have to find a better way to do this. Oops. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. I have some other idea to make it work now. I might use Marvelous Designer for this thing. At least it's a little bit more detailed than it was. It's gonna be exact. It's gonna be the same idea here. The smaller arm. Well, I think, yeah, that's... I'm just gonna finish a little bit early today, because, I'm gonna stop it there. I think, yeah, I did a cool progress today, I think. Getting a bit cooler, this guy. Oops. Yeah, it's getting a bit cooler, but yeah, still some work to do, but it's going fast, so it's been only 2 streams. Like 6 hours of work. I did continue it a little bit one day, but yeah. Or 3 streams maybe? 9 hours. But yeah, I'm gonna continue here those drapery. I might add like some spikes over them, something so they look cool. The back, make something. Whoops, I screwed the back a little bit. Make something cool in the back too. And make a nice head. Some Marvelous Designer cloth. Gonna add a lot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the streams. And probably gonna be there next month. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna take a break. So But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for joining the stream, and then see you next time. Where's my mouse?